was really happy for homecoming and our fan base. I appreciate them coming out. I thought it was a little warmer than we anticipated, but I was certainly proud of our players to start fast, and we got to play a lot of guys. And I thought the guys that came in there in the second half really played to a standard. Anytime you get a shutout, anytime you get that many yards, it's a positive, and we got to play a lot of players. So we're a beat-up, banged-up football team going into the off week. It's going to be important that we get these guys to heal up.
Coach, how'd you come out today? Obviously, you saw Ladd get a little shaking up a few other things. How'd you come
I think
out
Ladd's
today?
fine. He could have gone back. He taped his ankle up. I thought it was worse when it actually happened. He came back and said he could go. Truss is fine. Just walked by him coming over here. He's fine. So I think it's the only two today.
How nice was it to see Eric Gilbert get that touchdown?
It was great, man. Great for the kid, confidence-wise, and just trying to give him something to celebrate and be happy about. I was really happy for him.
Stanford Blaylock as well. What did you think about Blaylock being?
It was a great play. It was a great throw by Stetson on that play. You know, we had gotten ourselves in a third, maybe 7 or 8. It was long, and great throw, great catch, great athleticism by Dom to turn it up there and get the touchdown.
What do you feel like allowed Stetson to get in more rhythm downfield today?
Well, he made some better throws early. I thought he's played well. He hasn't made all the throws early. That one over the middle to Marcus early really helped him. He had the one high one to Darnell that he threw over the middle. But outside of that, I thought he had a good rhythm and did a good job throwing into zone.
Kirby, some of the offensive guys said they had a really good week of practice this week. What did you see from them this week, and what allowed them to be so successful today and look like the offense we saw earlier in the year?
Well, they had good focus during the week. We had good practices Tuesday, Wednesday. I told the team that afterwards. I thought the maturity in terms of practicing physical and not worrying about who you play, but just having good practices. That does not always equate to playing well, but sometimes you peak too early during the week, and I was worried about that because I thought Wednesday was, man, we got after it Wednesday and had a really good practice. Had a good practice Tuesday too. Played well today.
Kirby, what do you think about the special teams? You know, it looked like you guys flipped the field on punt return in particular.
Yeah, had a couple dumb penalties there, offsetting, and then Keeley blocking the back. But we've been really emphasizing getting better and trying to be more explosive on our units so it can stimulate our offense. And I thought they did a good job today.
Kirby, you guys still undefeated at this point. Each win maybe feels a little bit different. What's the biggest lesson you guys have maybe learned throughout the process heading into this bye week?
Just keep getting better. I mean, that's the ultimate goal is what's the end goal. And we're trying to look at really tomorrow. We talked about what we're going to do tomorrow, and I'm focusing on that. I'm not worried about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. I'm worried about tomorrow and how much rehab we can get and how much recovery we can get.
Kirby, couple questions kind of. I feel you were a little late coming in. Were you watching the end of the?
I was watching it until we jumped in and came on over when we thought it was going to go to overtime. But I heard as I was walking in, they nailed the field goal.
And a year ago, you and the Braves were kind of in a tandem here, bringing championships back to Georgia. Now that they're out, can you use them as an example about how fleeting all this is?
No, I don't think so. I mean, hey, look, they had a hell of a year. I mean, they won a lot of games, and they overcame a massive lead. I think they did a tremendous job. But each year's independent of the other. They'll be the first to tell you that. Snit's a good friend of mine, and I think they did an unbelievable job. But there's only one team that wins it at the end of the year. There's only one. And it's not normally the same team repeatedly. So for us, we're focused on us and getting better at us. And we got a long way to go, guys. We got a long way to go to be the team we need to be. And we got to get that done in practices so that we can play well down the stretch run.
Similarly, your schedule, you can't control what the schedule is. It is what it is, but it's, for whatever reason, it ended up being backloaded this year. So everything that's in front of you is a lot of ranked teams. Now, how well do you feel like you guys are set for this run that they're about to have to go on after them?
Man, Chip, I'm worried about tomorrow, man. I'm not looking down at that run because you start looking at that run and you get caught up. Like I'm looking solely at one thing. It's not Florida. It's not anybody else. It's us. And I'm going to dig, chew, claw to get every player on our roster better because one of those guys is going to be counted on to make a play in a tough game.
Career day from Darnell Washington today. What sort of allowed him to have that kind of impact for you guys today?
He practices really well. Darnell practices really hard. He's a great kid, and I thought he practiced really physical this week. And he got some opportunities off of play actions, and when the run game works, sometimes you get a chance to take shots on guys, and he's one of those guys that goes up and buys the ball.
Coach, what have you learned about your football team through 7 games?
Resiliency, toughness, grit, physical, practice hard, play hard, love each other, just enjoy coaching.
Kirby, in that second half, the defense started with 4 straight 3-and-outs. Just what did you think of the defensive performance, particularly in the second half after you guys had built a pretty big lead on offense?
Proud of them as an outman team. You know, we were better than they were, and we got to be able to execute when we play people that have the equal talent.
To this point in the year, what are your thoughts on your receiver room and how they progress? Especially, you've had a lot of injuries there, had some young guys thrown in the fire. Just what do you think about them kind of at the halfway point of the year?
Got to keep getting better. It's just what it is. We got to keep getting better. We got to win more 50-50s. Make the big shots we get down the field. We got to make those count, and we got to be more explosive.
Just mentioned the maturity with this team, and you've been able to play a lot from this true freshman class. What is it like to have that level of trust in those guys, especially with a lot of guys that they've known?
Well, we got a level of trust in them because they have to play. You know, it's not necessarily because we want to play them. Some of them have earned the right to play. Others have been afforded the opportunity to play based on someone in front of them or a hole. And, you know, I tell them every day, did you earn it? Did you actually earn it? Because if you didn't earn it, then it was given to you. What are you doing in practice to earn it? Because you go against as good or better in practice than what we've gone against in games. So we got to continue to get better.
Is a bye week a continuum of what you've got going, or is there any mental break, reset, because you can kind of, I don't know, breather is probably the wrong word, but.
No, we definitely reset. I mean, there's going to be an off period there towards the end of the week. That, you know, everybody gets to go away, get away from the building, get 2 days, 48, whatever, 60-something hours off, and that's a big reset because it's taxing. You know, we stretch the limit of what stamina you have. That's mental focus stamina. That's physical toughness stamina. We stretch that rubber band out, and we want to let that recoil a little bit and then get back after it.
Nearly doubled in time of possession. You guys today, was that deliberate or did it just happenstance?
I don't think it's deliberate. I mean, I think you always own the ball every play. You know, they just don't let you do that in football. It's not make them take them. You know, so when you score, they get the ball back. So it's not like we came out and said, let's really control the time of possession today. I mean, sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it has to do with the tempo they go with. It has a lot to do with 3-and-outs. But time of possession is usually an overrated stat.
Kirby, you were passing attempts for Carson Beck in the second half today. How important do you think those reps are for his development going forward?
They're very important for his development. He gets to throw it in practice. He gets to throw it in a game environment, and he continues to improve and prepare like he's ready to play because we've got a quarterback that's mobile and a quarterback that's going to get hits on. So he's got to be ready.
What was your message to Kamari Anthill in the first half? I know you took him out and
just communication. He had a communication error. It was not really about the missed tackle. It was about the coverage we were playing, and it's just unfortunate. He's got to do his job a little better.
Was that a hold your breath moment for you when Stetson took off running and took that shot on the sideline?
No, I don't think so. I mean, that's football, right? I mean, we want Stetson to run when he's able to run, and when people max blitz you, that's going to happen sometimes. His feet are a weapon. So I don't think you hold your breath. You tell him to be smart. When he needs to take a shot and get a first down, do it. When it's not warranted, slide.
Kirby, no team state goes through this run healthy, but are you anticipating after an off week that we see a Georgia team as complete as we've seen it since the beginning of the year?
No, some of these guys, I don't know if we'll get them back. I mean, you know, it's not. There's no like off week that says you magically get everybody back, right? It's a time. Each injury is different. But to see how they progress, how much pain tolerance they have. You know, I mean, ultimately, some players handle injuries better than others, and I want them all to get better and get well. But it's not realistic to think that all these kids are going to be back by Florida week. I don't know that. I don't know that we're going to be completely healthy. I don't know that you're ever going to be completely healthy again. So just hoping we can get more healthy.
How close was Smile to being able to go today, and just what have you seen from Ryan playing a bigger role with him?
Yeah, Ryan's done a great job. Smile's pushing again. It's more recent because it happened in the Missouri game. I don't know that he was really close today or close this week. So it's one of those deals that continue to treat him and try to get him better. If you can't, then just next man up.
Dylan Bell had another strong game. Just what has he provided to this receiver room with some of the injuries y'all have had there?
Yeah, he's coming out of that freshman a little bit wall. I think he's getting better. He's growing as a player. He's doing things for the second, third, fourth time in a game, and sometimes you start to take on a better personality as you play more and gain confidence in games. We need him to play with more confidence.
How much evaluation of guys maybe who haven't been able to get on the field this year will you do during the bye week?
A lot. We'll get to see guys, we'll develop guys. I mean, we're working like, hey, our threes may have to play the game. You know, you never know. You just don't know what's going to happen. And we've seen it this year, really, at inside backer, where guys have got sped up having to go out there and play. And I think the more prep you get, the more reps they get, the more prepared they are.
What about Cash Jones? He got in the end zone tonight.
Awesome.
What was his like recruitment like? And if you remember coming from Texas.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Dale did a great job with him. I didn't get to meet Cash much. Dale had talked about him being a preferred walk-on, and he's a really good athlete, really fast. And he said, we got a kid from Texas that wants to come to school, and he's really fast, and he's got some small school offers. But he came, and he didn't flash a lot his first year, but this last year, man, he's been a demon on kickoff. He's really fast, he's elusive, he's tough, smart. And what a great run to that. I mean, we've seen that in practice and in scrimmages where he's done that. The team just loves the kid because he gives you everything he's got every day.
Let's take two more questions.
Christopher Smith has been playing at an elite level so far this year, and as a former safety yourself, where have you seen him grow the most throughout the years?
His maturity. He's played a lot of football. Look, guys, if you play in the SEC for 3 and 4 years, I mean, playing at an elite level is a brave statement. When you say that, I would say that you're going to know what to do, know how to do it, know when to do it that way. But I'm not PFF grading someone. You know what I mean? I think sometimes those things give people a false sense of security. What he's done well is take care of his body. He's tackled well, and he understands our defense.
Kirby, 5 yards of carry on the ground today. Do you feel like this offensive line, being able to play together for 7 games in a row, is kind of starting to gel a little bit?
I don't know if it has anything to do with that. I mean, it has something to do with who he played. It has something to do with a function of being able to throw the ball. And, you know, we're going to play a lot bigger, more physical defensive lines, to be honest with you. And, you know, 5 yards of carry is a lot. We've got to be able to have a run game set up and play action.
Thank you.